Travel with us to any place in time. Explore alien worlds. Visit places where good doesn't always triumph. This is Excursion.
Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair. Where are the clowns? Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps
Where are the clowns? They're here, in the Pentagon. This is the Pentagon, the ultimate fortress of the military-industrial complex. Here, life and death decisions are made. Decisions that produce the School of the Americas, also known as the School of the Assassins, in Columbus, Georgia. The Bay of Pigs fiasco, spy planes, Agent Orange, neutron bombs, and the Vietnam and Persian Gulf Wars. 13 stories below this magnificent structure lies the War Room. Seated at this round table like gods, sit generals and admirals, like the great Kublai Khan on his imperial throne. President Margaret Strong, the first woman president of the United States of America. General Horatio Bogey, United States Air Force. Admiral Susan Scott, United States Navy. General George T. Stryker, United States Marine Corps. And John J. Hawke, Director of the CIA. But now, a new challenge faces the United States government, and the President has called an emergency meeting in the War Room.
Army Chief of Staff, General Thomas Black is still in Walter Reed Hospital?
Yes, General Black is still recovering from his hemorrhoid operation, Madam President. He should be discharged by his weekend. This weekend.
Is this microphone working? Everyone's microphone working? Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen seated at this round table, I called this meeting because we are faced with a global crisis. One of our experimental jets was stolen from one of our secret bases located in the Hawaiian Islands. General Bogey, Air Force Chief of Staff, would you bring us up to speed on this situation?
Of course, Madam President. Pardon me. Approximately 1 hour ago, our experimental jet, the Firebird MS-5, was hijacked from our secret Air Force proving ground known as Area 69. The Firebird MS-5 is equipped with 2 nuclear warheads, a laser cannon, computer-controlled machine guns. It can hover like a helicopter, and it's capable of spraying the area of a football field with a deadly nerve gas.
I'm more interested in ascertaining who stole this aircraft and what measures are being taken to repossess it.
We can't track the Firebird, Madam President.
Let me guess, Admiral Scott. It has stealth technology.
Correct. The most highly advanced stealth cloaking technology on the planet. In the meantime, the Firebird should reach California in just under 10 minutes.
How could something like this happen? That jet was secure on an Air Force base very few individuals know exists. Well, that includes myself, Vice President Dove, and the taxpayers.
Mr. President, Madam President, intelligence has just come in. The jet in question was stolen by a Major Dick Pride. He's a flight instructor assigned to that base.
Have we been able to determine Major Pride's motivation? Is he a double agent for the Chinese? Does he intend to sell it to terrorists? What do we know about Major Pride?
He used to work here in the Pentagon, Madam President.
Wonderful. No doubt he's CIA.
Well, he could be taking the jet out for a little spin. All we know, Miss President, is that he's Air Force.
I object to that statement, General Stryker. I don't think that's fair to condemn the Air Force just because of one rotten apple.
All of a sudden, I'm burning up.
Are you feeling all right, Madam President?
Why wouldn't I be feeling all right? The Arabs are threatening another oil embargo. Domestic terrorists are blowing up bridges and subways. Tonight, the official results will be announced on the national recount. I get to find out whether I'm still President of the United States or not. And now this latest crisis. Some nut just hijacked a plane that can destroy major cities. Why wouldn't I feel just wonderful on the worst day of my life?
Thank God Congress got rid of the Electoral College. That system was totally unfair to the American people. It should be one person, one vote.
New York and Florida are the only states left to have their votes tallied in the national recount.
Yikes, not Florida. They'll be down on their hands and knees counting ballots on their toes.
The media is projecting Governor Dixon, excuse me, the winner. But that assessment might be a little premature.
On top of everything, it sounds like you're having a hot flash, Madam President.
Oh, hot flashes. I used to get them. Believe it or not, men have that time of the month, too. Male menopause.
It's not that time of the month. It's that time of my life. And any minute, that phone can ring and announce that I'm out and Governor Dixon is the President of the United States.
Lieutenant Colonel Stone, would you get the President a glass of ice water? Might cool her down.
Yes, sir.
Can we communicate with Major Pride?
He refuses to respond to us, Madam President. However, we have scrambled 10 F-24s out of SAC to visually track Major Pride or take him out.
Or what? I didn't hear that last statement, General Bogey.
Or possibly take him out. I suggest we talk to the big board. May I put it in talk mode?
So, the big board talks.
It's not just wall screens, blinking lights, readouts, and subtitles. The big board was modified to converse with us. This computer is the latest in artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. Sounds like the CIA.
I take exception to that remark, Madam President.
Make it happen, General. Activate the big board. Let's put our tax dollars to work.
Oh, it's always on, Madam President. You can't turn it off. It's just on mute mode. It's monitoring this meeting right now. It ought to follow your orders because you're still the Commander-in-Chief. I think. The big board. Voice Command Alpha Zulu. This is General Horatio Aloysius Bogey. Talk mode.
Madam President, I am the Big Board, a supercomputer consciousness assigned to watchdog military intelligence and hardware.
Military intelligence. Is there any way to stop this experimental jet without damaging it?
I will list the options open, but I need more information on the craft itself. Wait a minute. F-24 Wasps are coming into visual range of the Firebird MS-5.
Order the F-24s to follow the Firebird, but do not take any aggressive action. Attempt communication. If there's a chance of bringing the Firebird down without harm to anyone, let's take it.
I relayed your orders to the F-24 pilots and SAC headquarters, Madam President.
How much time before the Firebird needs to refuel? That will give us the window of opportunity to shut down the Firebird.
The Firebird is self-sustaining. It won't run out of fuel.
The fuel source is classified, President Strong, and the less we discuss the capabilities of the Firebird, the better for national security.
National security won't mean a thing if millions die in a nuclear holocaust, not to mention the guerrilla warfare and acts of sabotage that are sure to follow in its wake, Director Hawk. How do we stop the Firebird?
The options are destroy the Firebird in a dogfight, target the craft for destruction from one of our kill sets, take computer control of the Firebird and lock out manual override, or convince the pilot to return the aircraft.
Why haven't you attempted computer control of the Firebird?
With this particular jet, computer control can only be obtained by vocal orders from the President, Vice President, Secretary of Defense, and the Director of the National Security Agency. Secretary of Defense Gilmore was the first to try, but his attempt met with failure.
Why didn't the base commander at Area 69 order computer control of the Firebird?
All communication ceased from Area 69, Madam President.
So let's try again. Big Board, I want you to take charge of the Firebird and land it safely at the nearest high-security Air Force base. That's a direct order.
Acknowledged. Interfacing with the Firebird's onboard computer. I cannot access the onboard computer aboard the Firebird. Major Pride has disabled the system. He is flying on manual. Unfortunately, he knows everything about this jet. We need something that will give us tactical advantage.
He won't respond, and we can't take computer control. We don't have any choice. We have to destroy the Firebird.
Mr. President, I mean, Ms. President, you can't be serious. Do you know how much those birds cost?
I'm acutely aware that this move will set the taxpayers back several $1 million, General Stryker. But the public doesn't have to know. If Major Pride nukes 2 major cities and the American people and the world finds out that we could have prevented it...
Our government credibility will be fatally wounded.
We must act swiftly. Big Board, transmit my order to the F-24s. Take out the Firebird.
Yes, Madam President. General Bogey, you have 2 calls holding.
Director Hawk, the CIA and the NSA keep track of everyone in the government. Where are the other key members of my staff?
Give me a moment, Madam President. I'm pulling that information up on my laptop.
Thank you, I'll take it. General Bogey here. No, we can't have this conversation now. No, if you die, I won't get married again. And I'm through with the call girls, gambling and anger management classes. That's all in the past. You know you're the only woman for me, honey. You put the sweet back in sweetheart. You're the strawberries in my jam, sure. All right, my little sugar-doodle darling. I'll see you later, sweetheart. Big Board, hold all my personal calls.
Madam President, Attorney General Gacy and Secretary of Defense Gilmore are en route to Area 69. Secretary of State Bundy is in Israel negotiating peace agreements. And Vice President Dove is on Air Force 2, heading for Camp David.
Official call holding on line 2, General Bogey. Urgent.
Get a message to the White House press secretary that there are to be no leaks of this story to the general public. How about it, Director Hawk? Is that possible? Can we keep this story away from CNN, Pacifica News, and out of the National Enquirer?
We'll try to keep a lid on it, Madam President.
Don't try, Director. Make it happen.
Excuse me, Madam President. I just received word from SAC. All 10 F-24s have been wiped out by the Firebird. They said it was a hell of a dogfight, which lasted about 3 minutes.
You're saying that all of the F-24s sent against the Firebird have been destroyed?
Yes, ma'am. All of the Air Force finest. I just confirmed that with my boys on the USS Stanley, Marine pilots. The Firebird went through those F-24s like a bowling ball making a strike. Conventional jets are useless.
With its laser cannon alone, the Firebird can topple skyscrapers and cause trillions of dollars worth of damage.
Major Pride is obviously a suicidal and homicidal maniac. People, we have to stop the Firebird by any means necessary. I'm reluctant to scramble more jets, but alert Andrews Air Force Base and every other Air Force base between the Midwest and the Eastern Seaboard. The order is, destroy the Firebird at any cost.
Visual message coming in. I think you will want this message.
Who is it, my spin team?
No, it's Major Pride.
Major. Okay. Put him through.
This is Major Pride. A laughing fate has dealt a cruel blow to me, a man that deeply loves his country and our way of life. My wife and unborn child were killed in the Pentagon attack on that day of infamy, September 11th. I thought I could get over it, but I can't. 3 months ago, my doctors confirmed that I have lung cancer from years of smoking cigarettes.
How long did they give you, Major?
I only have months to live. And since I'll never see my wife and child again in this world, and I'll never make general, I've decided to strike a blow for freedom and justice in this seemingly never-ending war on terrorism.
Major Pride, now you listen to me, son. I order you to surrender yourself immediately and return that jet.
It's too late for me, sir. I'm already dead. And I only answer to a higher power. Besides, I don't want to bunk at Leavenworth Prison for the rest of my life.
Major Pride, as your commander-in-chief, I give you my word that if you return the Firebird to any Air Force base, I'll consider granting you a full pardon.
For I have heard the voice of destiny, and I intend to strike a blow for liberty once and for all.
What do you intend to do, Major?
I intend to drop nuclear bombs.
Yikes. So much for world peace.
This ultimate patriotic act will survive me and change the complexion of history forever.
Major, you don't want to do this. We share your grief over the loss of your wife and child, along with hundreds of others that lost their loved ones.
There's no turning back for me now. I salute all the patriots there in the White House and the Pentagon. Tomorrow will dawn a new age of liberty and democracy. History will record me as one of the greatest heroes this side of heaven. My fellow Americans, I say to you, wish me Godspeed and God bless America.
Wait, Major! Major Pride!
Major Pride terminated the communication, Madam President.
Anybody know the last few verses of Nearer My God to Thee?
Well, I kind of prefer the song Rock of Ages myself.
Poor devil, he only has a few months to live.
It only goes to show you that if you live long enough, you're gonna die.
Well, the Pentagon is now bulletproof and bomb-proof, but I wish it were BS-proof. Bogey, Commandant Stryker, do you have anything constructive to contribute besides your juvenile comments?
Well, Ms. President, Major Pride said he heard the voice of God. Maybe this is a golden opportunity to strike at the heart of terrorism.
He said he heard the voice of destiny, not the voice of God, General Stryker. That so-called voice of destiny is his own warped mind, devastated by the death of his loved ones and facing his own mortality.
Big Bone, you mentioned using our killer satellites.
Killstats have been employed, General Stryker, but they failed to destroy the target. Precipitation, atmospheric turbulence, and a target moving at that speed will not allow for a clear shot. However, I have been able to track the Firebird's flight path using our orbiting spy satellites. It has engaged more jets and neutralized them. The Firebird's speed is increasing. It will be over the Atlantic Ocean in less than 30 minutes.
There's one possibility that we can stop the Firebird, Madam President.
You have our full attention, General Bogey.
Dr. Strangebody.
Who in the hell is Dr. Strangebody?
Forgive me, General Bogey. Allow me to explain.
Now go right ahead, Director Hawk. I'm nobody special here, just a general on the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Dr. Strangebody is the man that designed the Firebird MS-5.
I have no personnel record on a Dr. Strangebody.
His code name is Dr. Strangebody. He only works on top-secret projects. He's the most respected civilian defense contractor in the military industry.
Find this Dr. Strangebody. Morse code, ham radio, or payphone, I don't care. But get him in communication with us ASAP.
Not to worry, Madam President. Dr. Strangebody's en route to the war room right now as we speak. He arrived in D.C. about 25 minutes ago.
Pentagon security has confirmed that a VIP is on the elevator and on his way down to level 13, the war room. I can only assume it's Dr. Strangebody.
Lieutenant Colonel Stone, please vacate your chair for the good doctor.
Yes, of course, Madam President.
Visual on Dr. Strangebody. Accessing Justice Department Photo Library and Interpol database. Match found. He is German scientist Dietrich von Schicklgruber, one of the youngest scientists captured by the Russians at the close of World War II.
Von Schicklgruber? Did he join our side after the collapse of the Soviet Union?
With all due respect, Admiral Scott, that's classified. Need-to-know basis only.
Well, excuse me, Director Hawk.
Dr. Dietrich von Schicklgruber was believed to have died in 1999. Records of birth lost. Would have to be an octogenarian.
Apparently, we got Werner von Braun, and the Ruskies got Dietrich von Schicklgruber. In the end, we got them both.
Dr. Strangebody, I presume. Who are these uniformed men?
Forgive my appearance, Madam President, but these are mechanical legs. I invented these cybernetic legs myself. I lost my natural legs in an accident. I will spare you the gory details. And I always travel with my own security. It's always good returning to the Pentagon. My home away from home. It is agreeable to be back, yeah.
Dr. Strangebody runs Area 69.
A secret defense base that my cabinet and myself have absolutely no knowledge of. Area 69. It sounds more like a nightclub.
I assure you Area 69 is quite productive, Madam President. And now, what dramatic role am I to play in this new theater of war?
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to figure out how one of our personnel managed to steal a top-secret, state-of-the-art warplane and take it for a joyride. No pressure, really. It's just a minor emergency.
You're no doubt upset, yeah? But I assure you that we will solve this new crisis.
Oh. And how do you propose to accomplish this minor miracle, Dr. Strangebody? Or should I say Dr. von Schickelgruber? Have a seat.
I am honored to sit at this round table with such a distinguished body.
Park it, Doc. We need answers, and we need 'em fast. So if you'll just cut through the bull, we have World War IV to avoid. First of all, what can you tell us about the Firebird MS-5? By the way, what is that designation MS-5?
You Americans are such comedians. MS-5 is not an official designation. MS-5 stands for Minority Stopper 5. It is the latest multi-purpose urban assault craft to repel or riots in American cities or, worst-case scenario, revolution.
Minority Stopper? What minority is it referring to?
Oh, just your usual blacks and Hispanics, considering the scenario that the white population has come to a standstill, and your black and Hispanics are multiplying like rabbits. If these minorities should abandon the principles of democracy, let's say, join with communist China, become Muslims, or become dual citizens of certain African nations, like Libya or Somalia, they could pose a serious threat to our brand of national security.
General Black is not going to be happy about this.
That sounds like the COINTEL program, but that ended back in the early 1970s.
Actually, Madam President, the COINTEL program never really ended.
What? I suppose the School of Assassins never ended either, although my predecessor officially ordered its closing. Is this true, Director Hawk?
Oh, officially.
That question might be more appropriate for the Attorney General, Madam President. But in regard to the COINTELPRO operation, it's a fact, Madam President. The counterintelligence program didn't end with the death of J. Edgar Hoover. COINTEL continued well into the early 21st century.
I am almost too angry to speak. Apparently there are several governments within the United States government, and there are people operating beyond domestic and international laws.
The Firebird is coming up on the USS Kubrick, which just completed a mission in the Mediterranean.
Madam President, the USS Kubrick is a Navy flagship. My people are ready to take any action you order.
Order the USS Kubrick to stand down. I appreciate your readiness, Admiral, but I don't want the Kubrick damaged or sunk.
The Firebird is invisible to radar. It has no heat signature from its wake. No heat-seeking missile can track it. The USS Kubrick will have to rely on a visual target, and that is highly unreliable. The Firebird would sink the Kubrick with its laser cannon.
We're kind of running out of time, Dr. Strangebody. In less than an hour, the Firebird will be over the continent of Africa.
Have you already tried taking computer control of the Firebird?
Yes. It looks like all of our options are dead in the water.
Unless Major Pride intends to swallow a suicide pill, it looks like we should prepare for the worst-case scenario. President Strong, we should alert NATO, Israel, and get on the hotline to leaders in the Middle East.
Wait! Of course, yeah. There is one way.
Well, what is it?
This is something that even the pilots themselves don't know about.
Would you like to hear more about the original Twilight Zone-type stories, comedy, political satires, horror, science fiction, and drama? I'm Bradley Thunderbird Phoenix, founder and president of the Montage Radio Theater Excursion Audio Theater Series. You've just listened to The Gods in the Pentagon, also known as Dr. Strangebody. Featured in the cast, Debbie Stalker as the President of the United States of America, Ann Salmon as Admiral Scott, Norman Glansman as General Bogey and Dr. Strangebody, Mike Newman as Commandant Stryker, Anthony Pomis as the director of the CIA, Philip Rogers as the Big Board and Colonel Stone, Ali Mulvey as the Verizon phone recording, and Kim Baker as Major Pride. Music provided by the WUSB Music Library. Written, produced, and directed by Bradley Thunderbird Phoenix. Audio engineering by John Tobacco. Your announcer, Brad Phoenix. This was a Montage Radio movie production. Excursion! Would you like to hear more about the original Twilight Zone type stories, comedy, political satires, horror, science fiction, and drama? I'm Bradley Thunderbird Phoenix, founder and president of the Montage Radio Theater Excursion Audio Theater Series.